We are technically enhancing the lifestyle of a senior citizen through Manasum Senior Living. So that was a turning point for me to decide that if from now I will be only doing senior living.
We have to really tell them that they are eligible.
They deserve.
They deserve
Correct.
what they have earned till now to spend for themselves rather than saving.
Give me a prize which I cannot refuse. Godfather.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank all of you all for having this podcast, and this being the first podcast, it's actually very special. And I'd like to thank Kushal for offering this podcast room. Really great setup, and I'm really happy that we are doing this. So, how this would be? The format would be very simple. I'm going to ask you a few questions. You're going to give a few answers. If you have a few questions, you ask questions. I'll give you answers. So it's as simple as that. So, first and foremost, can any one of you all give a brief about what is Manasum? What exactly do you all do?
Okay. Manasum is senior living, active senior living, because in senior living there are 3-4 varieties. So one is active senior living, other one is assisted, other one is palliative care, and other one is continuous care. So we are in the active senior living, which means that we take care of all the seniors, or nowadays they are not called as seniors because we take care of people from age group of 50 plus onwards. And that's the right way of putting, because I don't want to call them as seniors, because in our own place where we run the senior living, we call everybody as boys and girls.
Oh,
Because the energy and the type of
I can imagine.
enthusiasm they show, I think we are missing a lot.
I can imagine.
So that is what we do in Manasum. And we stepped with one project in 2020 with 110 houses.
Okay.
And then the journey started from there. And now we are with 4 projects and 584 houses in operation.
So business is going up.
Yes.
So what was the reason you all actually started this business? What's the background story for this?
Yes, the story begins again with me. So definitely, I am 100% grateful to few people in this particular domain, because we all belong to a group called BNI. So in one such meeting, during the lunch, I sat with one of the trainer, and he was asking me, "Okay, what do you want? What are you doing?" So we were running a very successful system integration business, which is connecting the computer, which is on security and surveillance, and we were top 100 in the country.
Oh.
And we are doing very well with 16 branches and the people around, and we have done around 35 power plants. So I explained all these things. Then he asked, "What's your passion?" I said, "My passion was always to take care of elders and create a destitute home and an orphanage, and give a relationship between them and take them for, give them a continuous relationship. As the children become older, the old parents become more older, they will take care of them, and a new set of relationship begins." So,
was there any incident that happened in your life that made you to want to do this, to take care of others?
Definitely, because my parents, my father was 9th in the family, and mother had 6 brothers. So always, whenever anybody wants to go home, I was the youngest cousin in the entire family. So they'll say, "Please take care of the
So
elders."
first to last, they'll be almost skipping a generation probably.
Yes, 100%. So they used to tell, "Go take care of your aunt." My person is going out, and aunt's mother. So when they are going earlier to pilgrimage, it takes 21 days.
Correct.
So somebody has to be there at home, and I was the caretaker for a lot of my aunts. So that was there in heart, and thanks to my husband. So definitely this also was very big.
Yes.
So my in-laws were also having around 8 siblings and 9 siblings. So that was one more blessing for me to take care of them. I like and I love to do nursing at hospital and take care of people.
Okay. So you were volunteering before this also?
Yes, I was. So in both the family, I was called as non-qualified doctors. So if somebody is not well, I will go, I'll see their reports, I will talk to the doctor, I'll find out what to do next, and how to nurse them, take care of them.
Good to know. So it was some kind of passion that came from the experiences that you had, serving your elders, and something continued from there.
Very much. Actually, definitely, I want to thank my Anand's grandmother,
Hmm.
who has blessed me so much, I think, because when she was 100,
Hmm.
since Anand's father was the first in the family, I told him, you please bring her to home and we will take care of her fully.
Hmm.
So he was laughing, saying that you have to take care of your father-in-law, not my mother, who is. But still, I had an opportunity and I took care of her for 3 years in
Oh,
our house, where I was a nurse, I was a barber, I was a cook, I
plus
was
running
everything
your
for.
business as
Yes,
well. Right.
business was definitely my personal passion, and
Right.
I was encouraged so much. So 9 to 9 at home, I was a caretaker. Morning 9 to 9, I was in the office as a business entrepreneur.
Correct. Wonderful, wonderful. So I'd like to ask you, sir, why uh, Manasam means something for you, other than it is being her passion.
Yeah, I think almost my story was also something similar.
Uh,
So what happened during my childhood days, I was studying well. Okay, so always first in the class and things like that. So a lot of my relatives, like my aunt and other people, they used to tease my parents, saying that okay, your son is doing well in his studies, and then one day he will go abroad.
oh,
He will settle there, and then there is nobody there for you to take care of you people like that. Because I'm the only son and four sisters for me. So they used to tease my parent always that don't show too much of what to say the
Love and affection.
love and
Attachment,
affection for
huh.
him. And for him, this guy will run away to US or somewhere. So that's what they
So
used to
did
tease.
you run away to US?
No. So they always I used to argue with them
Huh.
at that time, saying that I will never go to US. Okay, so if at all I go, I'll go for whatever tour, yeah, tour or holidays like that.
Okay.
So that's what exactly happened. A lot of my friends in my college, they all went abroad. So then I chose to stay back. So I did not want to go there, and then I started continuing.
But I want to tell him,
And
definitely we both were in business.
Hmm.
He used to always say, US means we should go do business and do sightseeing and
Yeah,
come.
so not go as an employee.
We don't
I
have to
totally
live
get
there.
it. I totally get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
so then what happened? A lot of my friends who are abroad, sometimes they used to ask me to go to their house.
Hmm.
I mean, if their parent wants something, they
Yeah.
want me to give it there and all. Because those days there's no mobile or
Yep.
anything
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
So we used to visit like to their house and all. So that way, probably that was somewhere there at the bottom of the mind.
Our experiences kind of push us towards certain directions, and probably the similar experiences that you'll had at a certain age kind of gave that I would not use the word liking to this starting this business. It is almost, I am sensing that it's a sense of duty is what is actually coming out, and both of you all had that kind of a thing. I'd like to ask Kushal,
Yeah.
what brought you into senior living? I know you as a successful broker, selling the penthouses and the lake view houses.
Yes.
What brought you into this?
So, what made me decide to continue in senior living is the story of my first client to Manasum, I would say, as a broker.
Hmm.
So, again, I met them in BNI, and then I heard about the concept of their senior living. The Manasum is about to start for almost 2 years. I initially showed them some lands also in South Bangalore, didn't work, and then they bought the land, and they were in the conceptualization stage. Again, one of the meetings when I met them, they had the drawing board was ready, the concept and everything was ready, and they were about to launch the project, and they had a initial pre-sale, the pre-launch offer, and I just carried it to one such apartment buyer of mine, where I had sold an apartment in JP Nagar for 1.6 crores.
Hmm.
They had sold an independent house in North Bangalore, moved to South Bangalore because they had only one girl child and she was married.
Hmm.
And so wife was a survivor, and then they were finding it really difficult to manage themselves, so they were moving closer to the relatives
Got
in
it.
South Bangalore so that they
Yeah.
can continue to stay.
Hmm.
So the moment I went and explained about this concept, because I heard from them once or twice, but with whatever half-baked knowledge that I had,
Hmm.
I went and explained it to that couple. The kind of enthusiasm that they had, they brought out the checkbook and told, I think this is what we need to live our comfortable life, to pursue my passion and hobby. I don't want to sit down, clean my house, bother whether the cook comes to me or not. I've lived all my life in quarters.
Okay.
So I'm happy to take care of all these services, like offload all these services to somebody else. If I get my food on time, I'm happy. If my house is cleaned on time, I'm happy. That's all I want as a mundane should be taken care of, so that I can take care of my passion is what I have. So that actually felt like, anyway I'm doing real estate, but I from early days when I started real estate, I didn't want to do just real estate. I always wanted to have a value add to it.
Yeah.
Initially, I thought, let me bring in these traditional values of proper documentation, all these helps to when I'm broking real estate. But then later I thought there is so much of technology infused happening today, and those things have become easier.
Correct.
And this part of real estate, selling a home to a senior citizen today, where we are not just selling home, we are technically solving a problem to their entire lifestyle. We are technically enhancing the lifestyle of a senior citizen through Manasum Senior Living.
Correct.
So that was a turning point for me to decide that if from now I will be only doing senior living.
So, Kushal, what are the roles and responsibilities? What do you do in the organization? Then what do you all do is what I would like to know.
Yeah, between three of us, so Kushal takes care of the sales and marketing. So because he's good at that, so he takes care of that. And then Sumathy is holding the entire account, finance, portfolio. And then I take care of the operations now. Okay, so these are the three. So we have a clear distinction.
Actually, chemistry worked very well for three of us because our vertical strengths were very, very clear and was required to run a organization.
True. So how have you structured it? So because I understand there's owning of assets and there's offering of a service.
Yes.
So how have you all structured it?
So we have made two separate companies.
Okay.
Real estate vertical will take care of the selling, buying, commissions, and underwriting projects and the new projects identification and signing up. The services company is one more company where we run the services. Again, for project to project, it is separately maintained, and we have demanded for the services.
Okay, and you may have common accounting and HR, all that would be common. Okay, and what is a key, I would say, hurdle you would say if you want to grow your business? Like today, you've started a business, it's been a few years now. You may have some vision in your mind that, no, I want to do X, Y, Z. Say, for example, typically people say, I want to do $1 million. In real estate, $1 million is a villa.
Yeah.
So, it won't really be a benchmark.
Actually, when we started in 2020, we thought 100 was a good number.
100 crores?
But
100 numbers. Correct.
100 people to take care, 100 houses.
Yes.
So that's how we started. But we understood that there's a lot of requirement coming in.
Correct.
2025, 2,500 units is our target, which we have just entered in, another 11 months to go. And we are with 1108 units as of now.
Okay.
And pipeline of another 3,000 is there. So in that, Anant would select, because Anant is very good in identification and getting the first relationship inside.
Yes.
And then we all come and work together. So I think he's holding a lot of
actually, basically, if you look at our business, the way it started and growing. So first project what we did is we purchased the land, we constructed the apartment, then we sold it, and now we are taking care of that. So this whole thing, I mean, like for example, acquiring the land to the building completion, it took almost about more than 4.5 years.
Easily.
Okay. So then people started living there. So there is a huge, in terms of delay, and the growth is also very slow. Okay. So then we decided that we were trying to work out that what could be the best business model where to achieve the numbers, because somebody always keeps telling that we need to do 2,500 units by 2025 December.
Yes.
Okay. So then what happened? We had an opportunity to work with a builder. Okay, where the entire senior living tower was ready. Okay, it was ready to occupy kind of thing.
This is the Godrej property which you already, yes. 180 units if I'm correct, right? 191 units.
191 units, out of which Godrej had sold a few units, about 5 units. So 186 is the one which we acquired from them.
So can you just run us through how it happened? Like you purchased it and then sold it to the
Yeah.
that process, if you could just
So
explain.
what happened again?
Thanks
through,
to Dr. Velmani and family,
Hmm.
they really gave us a very good chunk of loan, I can say.
Okay, so they came and
Survive.
financed
Yeah, now
the
you can
transaction.
explain.
Yes.
Yeah, so there what happened again through a BNI connection. So we came to know about this particular
Tower.
opportunity. The that whole tower was available to start a senior living there, because that tower itself was designed for a senior living project. At the time of construction itself, it was ready.
Okay.
So they were in the process of selling it as a normal apartment. So
Okay.
at that time, Mr. Vaninath Reddy, so he approached them and then he told that, why don't you talk to
So
Manasum?
if you are saying, what I correctly gauge is that they had almost given up on selling it as senior living and they
Yeah.
wanted to convert to normal
Exactly.
apartments.
Yeah.
And that's when you all came
Yeah.
in and this transaction happened.
Yeah. And
So-
that time when we were on one of the Zoom meeting with the director Somen, so he told that, okay, this is available, and then we were talking about the pricing and all. So then I just casually told him, give me a price which I cannot refuse. Just like a godfather. So I told him, give me a deal that I should not refuse. So then they worked out and then came back, and that was really a good deal actually.
You didn't refuse, right?
Yeah.
So then,
Thanks to our supporter also. So immediately Dr. Velumani sir also from Thyrocare, he had
Yes, yes.
started the investment in other places.
Correct.
So he also gave us an opportunity and gave a very large chunk of amount to
Correct.
start.
Correct.
And thanks to the entire family. So, and we have returned it back in 13 months
Oh,
with
wonderful.
whatever is the commitment. And then
Wonderful.
there was no looking backward. We have sold more than 80% of our inventory,
Okay.
and very happy that 1 year of our services are also over. November
Okay.
we started the services,
And this
and
December.
75 plus people are living there.
Wow.
So journey began very nicely.
Very nice. So, if I had to dissect this business, you have to buy a property, then you have to maybe tweak it a little bit for the requirement, and then you have to sell it to the end user. That's the basic business.
So as Anantharam was telling, there is a lot of improvement every time when we do this, because now that we are experienced with two projects, when we got Ikigai, Ikigai Goa is a different unique proposition, because the builder had already started the building
Hmm.
and they were about to complete the first phase
Hmm.
with 30,000 square feet of clubhouse area
Hmm.
on 7.5 acres with 96 units ready to occupy, which we
Okay.
just inaugurated in November.
Correct.
So when that came in, we underwrite the entire project. Right?
Correct.
We had an opportunity to underwrite it. So
Correct.
we fixed the price and we took over the entire inventory from them,
Got it.
minus what they have sold till now.
So you acted as a real estate agency, took a mandate of the project and sold it for them to
Absolutely.
your
Exactly.
customers.
Exactly.
Super.
And everywhere the uniqueness is, we continue to maintain it for next 15 years, because that is how you can sell it to the client. See, today
True.
selling of our property is like selling any apartment.
Hmm.
But the difference is who is going to take care,
Yeah.
who is going to be the service provider,
True.
who is going to take care of them for the next 15 years.
Correct. Correct.
So we sign a 15-year service agreement with every individual,
Correct.
saying that we are there for you.
So if you have got the expertise of being a service provider, can that business also go and pitch to existing places and say, I'll do the service for you?
Existing place, okay, that is one more I think we found, because the next project what we took after Goa was Tata River. Tata Heaven is a place near Nelmangla,
Okay.
where they have 23 acres and they
Correct.
had
Correct. Yes.
1900 plus apartments. They had made an exclusive senior living again,
Hmm.
and they had some more inventories which was unsold,
Hmm.
and they were looking for the right operator. So we said, if we get the operation, if we get the service operation,
Then we can
we
try
don't
to
mind
take
liquidating the entire thing. So there also agreement is done and we have taken over the entire project.
So if you look at any business, you have a certain skill set. Say for example, I can sell. I can offer services to 10 companies. I don't have to have a product of my own.
Yeah.
So using your service business with 3 projects, 4 projects experience, few years of running it properly, it becomes like almost like a facility management.
Yeah.
Right? You can actually plug and play
it is
to
little better than
obviously.
Yeah.
Has to be much better.
Because why we have little proud in that is we are now taking over from the A's facility management people who are doing it in all these projects.
So
Definitely Tata's and
it
corporate
is,
and
you see,
others.
the whole point is like facility management. Actually, if you look at it, it can be streamed down to having a good software. Most facilities, not your
Yeah,
business.
very much.
It's actually software. So you can actually sit in one place and say, okay, I need to buy tissue papers here.
Yes.
I need to buy, phenyl over here. I need to repair a bulb there, and click, and the instruction goes to contractor. He comes, repairs, and goes.
Yes.
So it can be automated to almost maximum that one man. I know of one company which I was associated before. They had a 3-member team, and they were almost 40-50 million square feet. They were managing a 3-member team with, a local, not in India. Today maybe it's possible in India with our technology. We are ahead of many people. So today it's definitely possible. But this was in Australia in the early 2000s, I would say, or mid, 2010 types. So 3-member team was doing 35-40 million square feet of commercial. Now, commercial again, your night time, the janitor comes, they clean up everything. So it's all process, process, process. It was possible. In your case, there has to be some, extra touch that is there.
Yes.
That's
What is
called
that?
personal care.
That's the personal care is the extra touch.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, what happens is, unlike your facility management, all in remote, here all in person.
All in
I
person.
have a resident project manager who stays inside the property.
Oh.
We have a nurse who's 24/7 available inside the property. We have a doctor we have a driver with ambulance 24/7. We have security. We have
So
all the facilities.
they are on your payroll and they're
Yes.
staying there
in-house.
full time.
Yeah.
So then it cannot be scalable. So if you want to have 10 facilities, you need to have 10 project managers, 10 nurses. So that's the
It is definitely
limitation.
scalable because every project will have a 30-member team which we maintain.
Okay.
It becomes branches. So I can
Correct.
easily franchise it. I can easily go to the
Wonderful.
services.
Wonderful.
But it has to be very well managed with technology on a software, which we are
Got
now
it.
working upon.
Got
So definitely our model will take a very good boost because right now, as we are talking, the senior living population is also growing.
Absolutely.
Like your real estate, probably I think now every builder is thinking, why don't I have one tower of senior living?
So
And-
the whole point is, by the time people reach their 50s,
Yes.
they are the real people who actually have money.
Yes.
So,
And above 60, 70 are the people who are richest today in India.
Yes, unless the children have like forced them to have spend all
Unless they
the
have
money.
lost their property or they have returned everything to the children, if they hold it, they are the richest.
So again, even when we look at this, you are still looking at the top, 1 to 3% of the population, because majority of India is, extremely in extreme poverty. Like I was recently seeing that if your income is 25,000 bucks a month, you're in the top 10%. So almost everybody who is working with us is in the top 10%. We are not even interacting with people below that. You go to the villages. I have seen, like, recently I was traveling and I was having some aloo paratha something. One guy came, proper shirt, pant, looked, educated. He came and he asked chole bhature kitne ka? He said 80 rupiah, 80 rupees. And he said, "ठीक है, मैं आता हूँ." And then he went off. So for that man who had it was not, he was not like a beggar, he was not in a dhoti or something, he was like shirt, pant, maybe works in some company. For him, 80 rupees, he's questioning, it's mattering.
Yeah.
So
see, probably I will put it this way. Still, the senior Indians have not accepted that they can spend even when they are retired. I'm going to put it in a different way because we have been seeing seniors for last 10 years. Probably we would have talked to more than 3,500 plus people, right?
True.
So one of the things what I always talk to them is, we have to really tell them that they are eligible. They deserve
Correct.
what they have earned till now to spend for themselves.
Correct.
Rather than saving.
Yes.
See, today actually we are in a better position only because all our seniors were telling that before we retire, we should have one house of our own where we have to live.
Correct.
That was the thought process for, I think, all the people here.
Correct.
So now this level of people who are owning the house right now are all inside cities, and they
Correct.
have a lot of money if they're real estate.
Correct.
Is encash.
So
But
their
what they're
entire
doing,
savings, their life's earnings is stuck in that one,
yes, real estate.
you know,
of
5,000 square
So
feet
what
plot,
we
5-bedroom house,
exactly.
which the one old couple is staying who cannot maintain it.
And
answer
the
your
very sad story, sorry, very sad story of this particular thing is the children who have gone abroad and settled well, and the
Hmm.
parents are taking care of the house like watchmen
Correct.
and caretakers. Unfortunately, they will tell, if you want, you sell it and you enjoy your money.
Hmm.
Neither we can come back nor we can enjoy along with you.
Yeah.
So, to those people, what we tell them is, if you have a house
Hmm.
which can fetch you 1 crore of rupees or 2 crore of rupees,
Hmm.
we will tell you how to live independently, happily, joyfully till your end without depending on anybody
Correct.
in
Correct.
your own house.
Correct. Yep. Yeah.
So that thinking, thought process
Hmm.
needs to be built into them. And
True.
that is what happens when
True.
we converse, when we talk to them, when we tell them.
Hmm.
And now people are understanding.
So, what is your estimate of the market size of this business? It's a growing business, no doubt.
absolutely.
How much, if you take percentage of India's population, it will not work, because that's really crazy big numbers. So, if you had to look is, do you have any projections that in the next 5 years across India, how many people would actually choose to be in assisted living, active living, or they would require some medical? I mean, technically, what I'm asking is, everybody comes in one of those categories.
I can
in
answer
your
this
category.
both your previous question and the current question both.
Huh.
So in the overall population size, right, currently where we are, so all of these years, I think in the last couple of decades, we've always been enjoying the youngest country of the world, right?
Yes.
So the mean age is 27, and all of us are really enjoying the young.
So those
India.
27-year-old Indians are now 35 by then.
Exactly. So your point blank. So we're already 35 now, and soon you will see that 30 crore Indian by 2050 will be above age of 60.
Yeah.
So it means that we are already reaching about 14% of our population being going towards the aging population. But of course, the affordability of a senior living home or an independent senior living community is still less than 1% out of that overall population.
Correct,
Because like
correct.
it's always a 97% versus 3% of the
Correct. So
population
your
that
your
we're
target
talking
is
about.
typically the top 3 to 5% of the
Currently,
population.
the senior living communities who have been operated, or whether it is purchase model or lease rent model, is still on that top 3
Got
or
it,
5%.
got it.
Kind of,
So if I would just go for a very direct question, what is your turnover versus the known turnover of this business? How much percentage of the market do you have right now? Is there enough studies for that?
Right now, what is happening is, it is a very, very nascent stage
Hmm.
where across India, if you take, I don't think we will cross around 10,000 units.
10,000
Across-
units across how many
across
players?
India.
Across how many players?
Around 8 players.
So there are only 8 to 10 established players. You all are one of them.
Yeah.
You all
See, if
consider
you take-
yourself as one of them, right?
See,
Yes.
what we
Right.
are considering as on the top 3 or 4,
Okay.
because pan India presence, if you see, that
Huh.
is multiple project in multiple places.
Correct.
Very few people are there. Handful. That
Okay.
is 2 or
So-
3 or 4.
Probably what has happened is somebody says, suppose somebody is from Bhopal and he's a rich man, he says that I want to do something good. Instead of making an old age home, he's made it a little bit better version of that.
Yes.
And he's done that one project. It was his project. He's done it and forgotten about
Yes.
it.